All right, good evening. Welcome to today's class. So today we're going to be starting preventive maintenance topic in earnest. So in our last class, we looked at um, work order notification completion and processing of external services. So at the processing of external services marks the end of corrective maintenance. We started our journey from here down to this point. So today we're starting preventive maintenance and we're starting our journey with task list. After task list, we'll move down to this point. Okay, so this is our slide. Preventive maintenance basics. This is preventive maintenance, and we have different types of preventive maintenance. Time-based, right? Time-based, based on calendar days. Everything is based on calendar. It's either 1 monthly or 2 monthly or 3 monthly. Everything is time-based. Performance-based, which is based on a counter. This is a counter. If the counter reads up to a certain level, is condition-based is based on a condition. If a particular condition is met, then you carry out maintenance. Rises up to a particular point, we carry out maintenance. If you print a certain number of copies from your printer, carry out maintenance. Or the thickness of maybe a pipe or an object gets to a particular point, then we'll carry out maintenance. So you establish um, systems that capture this data and translate it to SAP so that system will know when to generate a work order. So preventive maintenance, like we say, is divided into 3 areas. Time-based. Preventive maintenance tasks are triggered after a specific period of time has elapsed. For example, every 6 months. Performance related is the second one. That is, preventive maintenance tasks are triggered if a specific mileage, that is a counter reading, is reached. For example, every 10,000 kilometer. Condition-based. Preventive maintenance tasks are due when a condition is outside of a specific value range. For example, thread depth below 15 millimeter or temperature higher than 85. So this is very important for you to know the type of preventive maintenance we have. It can be based on time, it can be based on performance, it can be based on condition. As simple as that. So processes for ensuring preventive maintenance works perfectly in your system. First step is a task list, which is what we're going to look at today. Okay, then after task list, we'll talk about maintenance plan, how to schedule it, maintenance order, and technical completion. So we're looking at task list today. The process of preventive maintenance contains steps for the planning and execution of regular recurring inspection and maintenance activities. Step 1, the task list defines object-dependent or object-independent process steps to be performed. So today, this is what we're going to be studying. So please get this point. What is a task list? A task list defines object-dependent or object-independent process steps to be performed. So the steps to be performed when the maintenance is due. The maintenance it can be time-based. A time-based, remember we talk about 3 different types of maintenance plans. It can be time-based. It also uses task list, right? If it's time-based, it also uses task list. If it is performance-based, it also uses task list. It also uses a task list. If it is condition-based, it also uses a task list. So whichever type of preventive maintenance you are doing, or you are setting off in your system will also eventually use a task list. Okay. Then the second step in preventive maintenance, the maintenance plan. The maintenance plan is created for objects and serves to automatically generate orders. So maintenance plan is like that program, is like that machine behind that generates work order, a work order generating machine. It can also generate a notification. It can generate a service entry sheet. These are the objects that it can generate. So look at it as a machine that keeps generating work orders when the time is due for the work orders to be generated. So you will create it and it will just keep generating. And it doesn't just generate, it works with so many factors, which we are going to look at when we start discussing maintenance plan. Then for a maintenance plan to even start working, you need to schedule it. When you schedule it, it follows the schedule you have done. So scheduling is responsible for the regular call-up of orders, notification, service entry sheet, as well as for recalculating plan date. So if it's a 1 monthly maintenance plan, when you schedule it, you will see January, it will tell you when the work order will generate. February, it will tell you when the work order will be generated. March, down to the end of the year, and it will continue. So that's what scheduling. Scheduling will just calculate all the plan dates. Plan date means the date you want to carry out the maintenance. Maintenance orders is automatically generated by the maintenance uh, order and entered in the order list. Sorry, by the maintenance plan and entered in the order list, from where it is processed like a normal work order. So the normal way you process corrective work order, when maintenance plan generates the work order, it enters in the work order list generally that you can extract, and then you now process it accordingly. Step 5, technical completion. So that work order that is generated, once the job is done, once the preventive task is carried out, you can do technical completion and also other completion activities on it. But today, our focus will be just on task list, which is where we are now. So task list in the company, all the inspection and maintenance tasks that must be performed at regular intervals are defined in a maintenance task list. So look at task list as that document that tells maintenance team what they need to do. Let's take, for example, generator maintenance. Every 3 months, 3 monthly generator maintenance. You will specify what you need to do every 3 months. You need to check filter, you need to change oil, you need to change filter, you need to change belt, you need to change all those changes and checks you need to carry out. It will specify in a document called a task list, just as the name implies, task list of tasks to be carried out. So it's something you create once in the system and you use it. So if you have 10 generators and their maintenance philosophy is the same, one task list can be used in the maintenance plan of all these 10 generators. But if um, the 10 generators have different maintenance philosophies, then you need to narrow down task list according to the generators. You create a task list, specific task list for each of the generators because they have varying operation steps. So the task lists are then automatically integrated into maintenance orders within the maintenance planning or can be manually used in scheduled maintenance plans. So once a maintenance plan generates a maintenance order, the task list that is assigned to the maintenance plan will copy all the steps into the work order automatically. So those steps that will normally enter manually, I'll show you what I mean. The system. So in the system, I will try to export the work orders that we've been. I'll try to extract the work orders that we've been creating. So we created some work orders before. I will follow the work order creation. So work order, the list. So our Functional location started with Mark. So any work order created under any functional location. If I open any of them, you will see at some point we added the operations in the work order. You see this work order has this operation. This work order also has these operations. So in the case of corrective maintenance, these operations are added manually. But in the case of preventive maintenance, these operations are what is added in the task list. All these are maintained in the task list. So anytime a work order is generated, these operations are copied in the work order automatically. So you don't need to do anything. Once you create it once and assign to a maintenance plan, that is all. You don't need to come and add anything again. You can even add materials also to your task list. So if you add the material, anytime the work order is generated, it will bring the same spare parts for replacement. Just to show you that. Okay. So what? Operations. What do we add in the task list? Operations. Operations are these steps I mentioned here. The steps I mentioned here. Can I call you back? So you can also add maintenance work center. What is maintenance work center? Every operation has a work center. A work center. So you would have assigned the work centers. So when these operations are copied, they will copy also the work centers. Material components can also be added. I mentioned it. You can add material component in your task list as well. So when the work order is generated, it will automatically adopt these materials into the work order. Production resource tools. You can also add production resource tools in your work order. So if production resource tools are things like the equipment you use in carrying out this maintenance, hammer, saw, spanners, forklift, all those kind of equipment you use that will help you in this maintenance. You can also list them out. The maintenance packages. Maintenance packages can also be added to a task list. And maintenance packages represent the frequencies. So maintenance package equals to frequency. Equals to frequency, maintenance frequency. So it means if I'm carrying out my maintenance in 1 monthly, 3 monthly, 6 monthly. So this becomes my maintenance package. Because these are the frequency of maintenance. So you can also assign that in your task list. Okay. Why do we do this? Why do we create a task list? The first question is what is assigned? These are the things that are assigned. And you need to know this. You need to know this, that in a task list, we have operations, maintenance work centers, material components, production resource tools, maintenance packages. Very, very, very important. So why do we create a task list? We create it for planned maintenance, preventive maintenance and inspection, for routine maintenance, planned repairs. Structure of a task list. A maintenance task list describes a series of individual maintenance activities. So you can use them to standardize recurring activities, plan them more effectively, and to save time when creating maintenance orders and maintenance plans. So this is how a typical task list looks like. You will see task list header. Okay, let me show you. So let's go to the transaction codes for managing task list. So if you go to plan maintenance, preventive maintenance, then you find it under what? Work scheduling. Then you see task list. So if you open task list, you have different kinds of task lists. You have hierarchical task list. You have functional location task list, equipment task list, and general maintenance task list. So hierarchical task list, you can also create, change, and display them. Task lists that are created in a hierarchical manner. Functional location task lists are tasks that are created for a particular functional location. And when you create for that functional location, you cannot use the task list for another functional location or equipment. Equipment task list. If you create equipment task list, you can use it only for that equipment. But if you create a general task list, general maintenance task list, it can be used for any equipment or any functional location. So it's your choice whether to make it specific, functional location specific, equipment specific, or general. Then list. It will give you a list of task lists in change, display, and multi-level. So basically, these are the folders that are used to manage task list. Every transaction code relating to task list is found in this folder. So if I want to display, for example, a general task list, I'll go to IA07. So I'll display an already existing task list for you to see. So this is what your task list, and it has header and operations. This is header, this is operations. So if I select one of these task lists, one of these task list counter, because task list can have sub-task list inside. You can have sub-task list inside a task list. The group name, which is what represent this task list, is gen_main. So under gen_main task list, we have another task list inside 1, 2, and 3. So this can be created with counters in a situation where you have different generators. So you have a small generator, you have a big generator, and you have a medium generator. So a small one would take the first counter, the medium one, second counter, and the bigger one. Or you can have a power generator, you can have a diesel generator, and a solar generator. So their maintenance philosophy will not be exactly the same. There could be variation. So they are all under the same group, but you find a separate counter for them that the whole maintenance philosophy varies. So if you want to display any of them, at the header level, you select it and you click header. So this is the information about. You can see the group name is always gen_main. The group counter remains 1. Power generator, maintenance task list, the planning plant, the main work center for it, the usage, the status, system status, strategy, so on. If you want to display the operations that are here, you click on operations and you see all the operations with their plan hours and all the details, the work centers to carry out this operation. Exactly what we're seeing here. We have displayed the header and the operation. Then inside the task list, you can also have plant and planner group, and maintenance strategy. You can also have maintenance strategy. So I showed you that before. This is the maintenance strategy. This is the planner group. This is a planning plant. This is a plant and the work center. All these are found at the header level. All these are found at the header level. So if you go to the second counter, counter 2, and you open the header, you also see the information. You can open also this operation. So you can see the operations are a little bit smaller for this kind of generator. And this is what your diesel generator. Then if you go to the third one, which is the solar generator, the operations will also be different. See operations. So a concept called task list group and group counter. I'm going to hit the middle. So the concept called task list group and task list group counter, very important. So the task list group represents the general name for the task list. And this can be represented by a number, numeric, or alphabet, alpha numeric, or it can be alpha complete characters that are not numbers. Then the group counter is the number, the numbering system that tells you which sub-task list under this group name. So a sub-task list, number, that's a group counter, just the way we have here. All these are task lists under the same group, but they have different operations because there's a variation. So if you want to use any of them, you need to reference the group and the group counter. We're going to do that shortly. Okay, so in the task list, we also have the work center, the components, and PRT. The PRT means production resource tools. We already discussed this point here, production resource tool. So this is the structure of a task list. What you're seeing here is this strategy. The strategy of maintenance is 3 monthly, 6 monthly, and 12 monthly. It can also be called the frequency of maintenance or the packages. The packages available is 3 monthly package, 6 monthly package, or 12 monthly package. All together is the strategy. All put together this is the maintenance strategy that you have decided. Okay, so we're going to, before we go to the question, we're going to create a task list. And this task list we're going to create task list um, based on strategy and single circle. Because when you are creating a maintenance plan, your maintenance plan must either be a strategy plan or single circle plan. And I will explain. Strategy plan means the maintenance strategy is not just one frequency. It does not contain only one frequency. It has multiple frequency. You can have 1 monthly, 3 monthly, or 6 monthly. But for a single circle, you just choose only one frequency, and that frequency is continuously um, uh, being used. You won't have a situation where you do a 3 monthly when it's a single circle. But in the strategy base, you will do 1 monthly. After 3 months, you do a 3 monthly. After 3 months again, you do a 6 monthly. But for single circle, it is continuous. If it's 1 monthly, it continues. That cycle continues 1 monthly, 1 monthly, 1 monthly. But for 3 monthly, also, if it's a 3 monthly single cycle, it will continue every 3 months. If it's a 6 monthly cycle, it continues. So there's no strategy. So I'm going to create both a single circle task list and strategy task list. So the only thing that makes the difference is this. I'll first of all show you in this. Sorry, if I go to header, this field here. For strategy based, you must fill this field with a particular strategy. Or for non-strategy based, that field is empty. That's just the difference. So only strategy task list can be assigned to strategy maintenance plans. Remember, I told you your maintenance plan can either be strategy based or single cycle. So your task list, if your task list is a strategy, then it will be assigned to a strategy maintenance plan, MP. But if your task list is single cycle, then it will be assigned to a single cycle maintenance plan. One second, please, I'll be back. So I just want to pause at this point and ask, is it making sense?
Yes, Mr. Paul.
Okay. So just know that if your task list is a strategy based task list, meaning that it will have a strategy assigned to it. I will explain what is a strategy much later. If it has a strategy assigned to it, then it is automatically a strategy based task list. If this place is empty, it means it's a single cycle based strategy. So a single cycle based strategy assigned to a single cycle maintenance plan. A strategy based task list assigned to a strategy based maintenance plan. So I'm going to create one strategy based task list and one single cycle. Okay. So how do you create a task list? We're going to create a general maintenance task list first. Transaction is IA05. Run it. So here you can choose to enter your task list group name, or you can allow system to generate it for you. But when system generates it will be a number. But you can enter a group name, right? You can enter a group name if you like. Let me let someone in. So you can enter your task list group name. If in creating a task list, once you launch the transaction IA05, you can enter a name like this name, okay? And the name signifies that it is a generator maintenance task list. So if, for example, it's a forklift we're creating for, we can say forklift. It can be any name actually. So I just choose to name it as forklift. All right. So once you enter the name there, you press enter. Then it will take you to the header. This is the header, which is this part we're seeing here. So in the header, you need to enter the title of this task list, and system will automatically assign counter 1 because this is the first sub task list under this group. So system will automatically assign counter 1. Then you have to provide the description of the task list, forklift maintenance, so that you can be able to know. Then you enter your planning plant. I'll enter 1000. Your work center, if you have, maybe mechanic, plant 1000. Usage, you select the where you want to use this task list for plant maintenance, of course. Then planner group, you can select a planner group for this task list. Status, you need to release it. Release this task list for work order creation. System condition, meaning what's the condition of the system at the time, not in operation. In operation, we'll select anyone. So we have a couple of strategies that are already in the system, but we're going to create our own strategies. Then when we start talking about strategy-based maintenance plan, you will see how to create a strategy. So for now, we're just going to select one strategy. This is a scheduling by calendar. It's monthly. This is performance strategy. This is also performance. This as well. So I will just select this scheduling by calendar strategy A. I'll press enter. So once I do that, I will go to operations so that I can add the operation steps for this forklift maintenance. So I'll click on operation and it will take me to this blank page here. So these are the operation numbers, operation 10, 20, 30, just the way we have it in a work order, because it's going to copy this exactly into the work order. So the first operation is check let's see, check belt, check forklift belt, and this will take 2 guys for 4 hours, same way we do in our work order. The next thing is maybe change oil. This will take maybe 4 guys for 6 hours. Okay, so if you want to calculate work done, you can also calculate work done the same way we normally do. You go to the calculate the control calculation key. It's quite small. The calculation key is this C. So you select calculate work and calculate work. So once you press enter, it will calculate the work done, multiplying this by this and this by this. Then again, if you have another operation like maybe change electrical panel on the forklift, and this you want just 3 guys to take 4 hours, calculate work, control key, system will calculate. So these are the operations you want to carry out during forklift maintenance, right? So once you do this, you can assign the packages to each of the operations. Okay, and this is at the bottom here, maintenance packages. And the maintenance packages are the frequencies. These are the frequencies. So in this frequency you see here is dependent on the type of strategy you select. Remember, in our header, we selected strategy A. So in strategy A, we simply have 1 monthly, 3 monthly, and 1 yearly. If you select another strategy, maybe this B, and you go back here and select, you see this one has 3 monthly, 6 monthly, 9 monthly, and 1 yearly. So the frequencies you will see displayed depend on the strategy you assign to your task list. Now, if I change this strategy again to A, I will the previous A, and I click here, I will see only 1 monthly, 3 monthly, and 1 yearly. So depending on the strategy you select, and strategy is something that you would build in the you would create already. So once you create, you can find it in the header, and you can assign to your task list. So here, if you want this check belt to happen every 1 month, you select it. If you want change oil to happen every 3 months, you select it. If you want change electrical panel to happen every 1 year, you select it. So anytime a work order for change belt is generated, system knows that this is a 1 monthly operation, and this is the only operation that will appear in the work order. So if you want multiple operations to appear in the work order for 1 monthly, you can tick all of them. So all this will appear in the work order, and this is the operation. The whole of this will appear in the work order because you have ticked that every 1 month they should appear. But if you want every 1 month should be change belt, 3 months change oil, and this change electrical panel, then each of them will appear when at the expiration of the frequency. So here, this is where we take opportunity to assign the packages or the frequencies to our operations so that system will work according to it. Then I also mentioned that you can add components, that's materials, to your task list. This is where you can add components. Click on, sorry, components are added based on operation. So change oil operation, if you want to add a component to change oil operation, select it and click component, then search for the right oil. See oil, then I will just pick one oil. So looks like this oil doesn't exist in plant 1000. Let's check the one that exists in plant 1000. But this is the only oil that exists in plant 1000, so this will work. So it means that anytime this operation change oil appears in the work order, it will also come with the oil by default. The oil, the material number for the oil will appear in the component tab of the work order. You already know where the component tab of the work order. So by default, you don't need to go and start ordering material. It will be ordered automatically because you have already assigned material for that operation 20. If you also want to order material for this change electrical panel, you can select it and add material for it. And this time around, you look for panel. So let's go to plant 1000 and look for if we have panel. Don't seem to have any panel in that. So, but any material, if this is the panel, you can assign it. Then you go back. So now you have assigned material. You can also assign priority, production resource tools. Select and look for the right production resource tool, maybe spanner, if it's available, or screwdriver, if it's available. You select it. This is not priority data for material implant. Okay. So whatever PRC that is available and is useful for the job, you can assign it. Don't know why it's complaining. Yeah. So if everything is okay, you can assign the PRT as well. Then once you do that, you save your task list. Our system will generate the task list fork_leaf. Okay. So if you want to create another task list that is not strategy based, this time around, let's also create a task list for generator. Gen underscore maybe solar gen, the solar gen. So we'll call it task list or solar gen maintenance, work center. Usage is 4 means plan maintenance. Planner group, you can add usage, status, all these details you can add. Then, because it's a single circle, you don't need to assign any task list to it. Then you go to operations and add the right operation. Inspect will take inspection will take maybe one guy for 2 hours. Calculate work done. Then next is maybe battery or whatever it is that you want to check. It will take 2 guys 2 hours. Okay, so you add that, and you see that here, because it's a single circle, the package is not showing here. So it means you can't assign package to this. All right, so the next thing is to save it. Just save it, and it will generate your Gen Solar task list. Okay, so because the package is not showing, you are not going to add any package because there's no package. So it is only at the time of maintenance plan creation you decide whether this is a 3 monthly and it's going to be just one frequency or one monthly. But when you add a strategy, it means we have multiple frequencies. It will do 1 monthly, sometimes it will do 3 monthly, sometimes it will do 6 monthly. But with a single circle, it will pick one circle and continue to move in that fashion. So now we have created our 2 general maintenance task list. You can also create equipment task list. And the difference is for general task list, these 2 task lists we created can be used for any kind of generator, any kind of a forklift. But if you make it specific by creating equipment task list, at the point of creation, system will ask you for the equipment number. Once you provide the equipment number and you attempt to create, you can only use our task list for this crane. Every other step is the same. You can enter the details and all of that, but you cannot use our task list for any other equipment. Likewise, functional location. If it's for a functional location, once you specify the functional location number and you create the task list, let's say you add a new task list for this bulldozer, you can never use this task list for any other functional location apart from this bulldozer. So you are narrowing it down to the bulldozer. Every other steps, you fill this and you save. It's the same. But for a general maintenance task list, once it is created, it can be used for other equipment as well. That's why best practice you always create a general maintenance task list. Okay. So if you want to display the task list that you have created, the system can give you, if it's a general task list you created, you select general and all your task lists will list out here, including the ones we created today. Okay. You find them here in the list. And it can give you in change mode and display mode. So if it's an equipment task list you created, you select it, or if you want to see all of them, you tick all and it will give you both functional location, equipment, and you will see their code here. This task list type, trying to expand it. Oh, trying to expand it. So you see the different task list type we have. We have some that are A. All these A are general task list type. All A are general. Then you see E. E stands for equipment task list. T stands for functional location task list. So these are the different types of task list we have created. Okay. Then if you want to modify your task list, if it's a general task list, you have the modify transaction here, change. You enter the task list you have created and you can open it again. You see? So if you need to add more operations, you can add more operations. If you want to modify anything at the header. So currently you see this task list group Gen Solar has only one counter. If there's another solar gen that has different set of maintenance steps, you can create a new one here by clicking. If you have to go back to the create transaction and you click on this plus, then you see counter 2 will be there. So this is other sets of solar gen. So if I provide all this operation and I save, I'm going to have counter 2. So it means that this group alone will have 2 counters. So if I save this now, I have created, I will go back to change. And you see the second counter, counter 2. So counter 1 has different set of operations. Counter 2 has its own operations as well. If you select counter 2 and set operation, this one has just one. So it's just a way of separating the different generators, their task list inside one task list group. Okay. So after creating your task list, the next thing is to assign it to a maintenance plan. And what you should know is the assignment principle is the task lists that have strategy, they can only be assigned to strategy maintenance plans. The task list that is single circle that does not have strategy can be assigned to only single circle plan. If you mismatch this, system will return an error. So any question on task list, creation and management?
Okay, Paul, I have a question. Can you hear me?
Right. Yes.
Okay, so when you have the group and the counters,
Mm-hmm.
let's say for a generator, for for, for example, and you you want to create uh, how do I explain it? Okay, so you have a generator and you have a task list for the group, and then you want to create different counters for the different generators. They are not different
Mm.
generators physically, but in terms of
Mm.
equipment number, they are different. So is it
Mm.
best practice to say counter number one, uh, maintenance of maybe the filter, then you now open in bracket, put the equipment, the generator equipment number. Do you
Mm.
get? Then you now go to line 2 and say it's the same operation, but you just put the equipment number so that when you want
You.
to pick a task list for the
Mhm.
generator, you just know that okay, this one is for this equipment number. You
Mhm.
just pick it.
Yes, that will be fine. You can also use description. You say generator A, generator B, generator C.
The
Only you
oh,
know how they are on site. But the main reason why we create counters under the group is, let me make you clear. The reason why we create counters is one, if you have 5 generators, normally these 5 generators should use the same task list, group and group counter. But you happen to have 3 maintenance plans. One maintenance plan is for electrical job, while another maintenance plan is for mechanical job. Another maintenance plan is for inspection that you can decide to separate this by group count. So it is the same generator, but the electrical job will have its own counter with their own electrical operations. Mechanical will have another group counter with their own operations, and inspection will have their own group counter with their own operation on the same. That's one step. That is separating the task list based on work center, right? So in each group counter, the work centers will vary. So if you open group counter 1, the work centers in group counter 1 will vary. If you open group counter 2, the work centers will vary. So you can do that separation using group counter. That's one reason. Another reason is if the operations are not the same, right? For example, if I have 5 generators and they vary in terms of maintenance philosophy, all of them are generator maintenance, right? But generator 1 has some other operations that you don't need to do on generator 2. That means you are going to create for generator 2 a new group counter that will have its own specific operation. So when you create its own maintenance plan, you reference the same group but a different counter. When we start creating maintenance plan, this will make more sense. Okay, but your question, how, in terms of naming the group counters, is perfectly your choice. If you want to name them so that you will know that this group counter represent this particular type of equipment, this one represent this particular type of equipment. You can even use the equipment number here in the description of the group counter so that you know that okay, this group counter is for that equipment. It's fine. The reason why that may not be perfect is there are situations where you have one group counter that is perfect for 5 different generators. Another group counter perfect for another 5 different generators. Another group counter perfect for another. Like I gave you an example of solar, diesel, and the rest. So if you have 5 diesel generators, one group counter can be perfect for all the 5 diesel generators. Another group counter can be perfect for uh, the solar because their maintenance philosophy may not be the same, and it means the maintenance steps will not be exactly the same. But because there are many, one group counter will serve all of it. So if you specify equipment number here now, in a situation where there are 5, it will be a problem. So you can either specify equipment number or just text that can point to those particular equipments. That one is your choice completely, and it's not a problem. Is it clear?
Yeah, understood. Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah. So let's take some exercises if you don't have further questions. What are task list group and group counters? So a task list group is the name of the task list, the name used to identify the task list. And the group counter is the numbering that differentiates the different sub-task lists under the group, under the same group. So let me show you something that may even make you much more clearer. I will display one maintenance plan here, and I'll show you how a task list is referenced in it. So I will just pick one maintenance plan here. When we start discussing, you can see here, this is task list. You have to specify, when you are referencing, you have to specify the task list type. In this case, it's A, which is general maintenance task list. I told you we'll have A, we'll have E for equipment, and we'll have T for functional location. So this is A, which is a general maintenance task list. The group is 84, equivalent of that um, gen gen group that we created. That one was text we use. But for these ones that have numbers, it means system assigned the group name, the group number automatically. Then look at group counter 1. Automatically, this tells you that system is making use of the group 84 counter 1. If you want to see the steps in this, you can click this Google and you'll see all the maintenance steps in that particular group. So when you create a maintenance plan to reference the task list, you must specify the task list type, the group name, and the counter. So this is where system knows which particular set of maintenance operations you are talking about. So specifying the right group and group counter is very, very important. Number 2, display a task list header of the general maintenance task list pump underscore WTG. So pump underscore WTG happens to be the group name. So who can tell us how to do this? And the counter they say we should display is counter 1. So how do you display this pump underscore WTG group counter 1? You just need to go to the display transaction because the question said general maintenance task list. So you go to general maintenance task list, display. Then you enter pump underscore WTG. Then you press. Okay, so um here the question say you should display the task list header. So this is the task list header. You click on header and you see all this information. So display the task list header of the general maintenance task list pump underscore WTG with group counter 1. So you see the group counter is 1. The title is this periodic blah 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 pump something. And all these details, look at the strategy A and so on. So if you want to see the operations, these are the operations in this strategy. Okay, the work center, the plan, scheduling parameters. Then which parameter indicate that this task list has been defined for strategy-based maintenance planning? What is the value? So what's the value?
A.
Thank you. So which parameter indicate that this task list has been defined for strategy-based? The value is A, this A here. Only this A here tells you that this task list is strategy-based. It means you are following. Now display the operation list. Operation list is just to click on operation and you see the operation list. So you always have the header, the task list, the operation, the header. So you can move to the operation, you can move to the header, you can move to the task list itself. So the task list is which shows you the sub-task list under the group. Currently we have just one. If we have more, you will see them lined out here. The header will show you this, operation will show you the operations, task list will show you the list of sub-task list under it. So what are task list group and counters used for? Okay, this is a solution actually. The task list group combines task list with similar topics from logical and data related perspective. The group counter is a sequence number of the task list within the task list group. Display task list header of the general maintenance task list pump underscore WTG with group counter this. So how do you proceed? This is this is the step. You go to SAP menu, logistics, plan maintenance, preventive maintenance, maintenance, preventive maintenance, work scheduling, task list, general. So exactly what we are doing here. Once you know how to navigate down to this point, down to preventive maintenance, then you can navigate to work scheduling and you see your task list. So you can go to general maintenance task list and display. So you enter the group name, press enter. Then you can see the operation. You can go to the header. You can go to the operation. You can go to the task list. Everything is there for you. So that's it. So the third question, display the operation. How do you proceed? Which maintenance packages have been assigned to this, to which operation? Yeah, good question. Which maintenance packages have been assigned to which operation? So this is our task list. So we open it and we're seeing the operations. So for us to know the packages assigned to these operations, who can tell us how to do that? And do you know what's packages?
Yeah, to see the packages, we'll go to the bottom left, that
Exactly.
yellow.
What are packages? What's an equivalent name for packages?
It's the frequency of the
Thank you.
maintenance.
Thank you. I already mentioned here that maintenance package is equals to frequency. Sometimes it's even called hmm, maintenance package frequency and what? It's also called another name, maybe circles. So if you want to see the packages, you go to maintenance packages here and you'll see. So here, which operations will be called during, just give me the operation numbers when I ask this question. Which operations will be called during the 1 monthly task? Number what?
10, 20, and 70.
Thank you. So every 3 monthly, which operations will be called?
30 and 60.
And then for 1 yearly, which operations will be called? 10,
All of
20,
them.
30, 40, 50, 60. So that's just how it is. All right. So any question? This is should be very clear. And if you're not clear about this topic, then you let us know now because we'll be proceeding to another topic in our next
Yes,
class.
Mr. Paul, I have a question.
Go ahead.
For when we want to add a counter, I was unable to add mine for our solar task list. I wasn't able to add another counter for our
Okay.
group,
So
sorry.
you can only add a counter in the create transaction, not in the change.
Okay, okay.
So maybe you were on the change, which is this one. So if
Yes,
you
I
are
was on
here,
change.
even if you are in task list, you won't see the plus sign. You can only see the plus sign when you launch the create. So if I open it now, I will see my plus. So if I click on, remember we have 8 counters here now. If I
Yes.
click now, I'll have the 9th counter, which is this one I'm creating. So if I create this 9th counter now, for example, if I just create this 9th counter now and I save, if I go back in, I will see the 9th counter will be here.
Okay. Thank
Any
you,
other
Mr.
question?
Paul.
Any other question? So in the absence of any other question, we'll end the class here today. And in our next class, we'll be looking at maintenance planning, how to create all these maintenance plans we discuss here. We'll create time-based maintenance plan. And for time-based maintenance plan, you can have strategy or single cycle. Have that in mind. Likewise, performance-based can be strategy or single cycle. Condition-based can be strategy and single cycle. And what the task list that you assign to strategy must be a strategy base. If it's a single cycle, the strategy you assign must be a single cycle task list. Likewise, all of this. So we'll also introduce ourselves to a concept called strategies in the next class. Maybe not exactly in the next class, but when we're discussing strategy-based maintenance plan. So there's something called strategies that will look at how to create a strategy that will suit the company need. If this is the company strategy, we need to create in the system. For example, if this is equals to that strategy A, then we need to create this A in the system before we can use it. So we'll learn how to do that. Any further questions?
None from my end.
Okay, so call it a day. Have a great night rest.
Thank you, Mr. Paul.
All right, Mr. Paul. Thank
So
you.
I'll send you the video. You can play back as many times as possible. Try to get this concept because this is just the beginning. We're going to move more and more into preventive maintenance. You appreciate it more if you understand this concept at the beginning. Thanks.
All right. Bye.